Now as a fighter, Steve McQueen. Now he is good in that department. Steve McQueen and Bruce Lee trained together. They sparred in private. They shared secrets about fighting and fame. When Lee died suddenly in July 1973, Hollywood expected McQueen to be there. But something happened that changed everything. Friends say McQueen made a decision that shocked everyone. Was it guilt, fear, or something darker that nobody talks about? The truth might surprise you. Steve McQueen came into the world on March 24, 1930 in Beach Grove, Indiana. His birth was just as dramatic as the life he would lead. His mother, Julia Ann Crawford, was only 20. She worked as a sex worker and fought constant battles with alcohol and abusive relationships. His father, William McQueen, was a circus stunt pilot who loved danger but didn't stick around. He disappeared just 6 months after meeting Julia, leaving her pregnant and alone. The Great Depression made everything worse. Steve's early life was filled with poverty, neglect, and chaos. His father's daring spirit seemed to haunt him, pushing him toward danger and speed for the rest of his life. By the time Steve was 3, his mother couldn't handle raising him anymore. In 1933, she left him with her parents, Victor and Lillian, in Slater, Missouri. But this wasn't the end of her leaving him. Julia's drinking and bad choices in men meant Steve was constantly uprooted. On the farm run by his great-uncle Claude, Steve finally found a little peace. The farm gave him safety when so many families were breaking apart during the Depression. Here he learned to work hard and be fair. For a short time he tasted what a normal childhood could be. But it didn't last. His mother came back, bringing with her the same storms that always seemed to follow. When Steve was 8, Julia showed up again. She was remarried and took him to live in Indianapolis. On the day he left, Uncle Claude gave him a gold pocket watch. The words engraved on it said, "To Steve, who has been a son to me." That watch meant everything to him. It reminded him that someone truly loved him. It was the one thing that made him feel valued in a world that often made him feel invisible. That watch stayed with him, a symbol of kindness that gave him strength through dark times. But darkness came fast. Life with his mother and new stepfather turned into horror. His stepfather beat him and his mother. Just 9 years old, Steve ran away. The streets of Indianapolis became his new home. He stole food to survive. He slept wherever he could. Later he said that having no love as a child made him believe he wasn't good enough. The streets didn't just shelter him, they hardened him, shaping the tough, rebellious man the world would one day call the king of cool. In Los Angeles, Steve fell in with a gang. He was still just a boy, but he learned fast. Stealing hubcaps, running scams, doing whatever it took to belong. The gang became his family. 13, he lost his virginity to a 15-year-old prostitute named Matilda. The gang paid her with a cake. Steve later said, "You didn't pay her with money. You bought her cakes." That's how bleak his childhood was. Growing up too fast in a world with no innocence left for him. The California Junior Boys Republic. Steve's life hit another turning point. He spent 14 months there. It was harsh. He was put in solitary confinement 5 times. The isolation left deep scars, but it also taught him how to endure. Later, when he played the role of the rebellious prisoner in The Great Escape, those scenes came straight from his own memories of the reform school. That brutal place didn't just punish him, it forged him into the man who would face the world with grit and defiance. Over time, Steve changed. At Boys Republic, he went from outcast to leader. He was elected to the Boys Council. This was more than a title. It showed that people were starting to see him differently, and he started seeing himself differently too. When he made it big in Hollywood, he never forgot Boy Republic. He gave back again and again, helping the place that helped him. It showed how much second chances mattered to him. At 17, he joined the Marines. He wanted a new start, but the rebel in him clashed with military rules. He was demoted 7 times for insubordination. He even went to wall and paid for it with 41 days in the brig. But the Marines shaped him. They taught him discipline, even as he fought against it. The tough lessons he learned there became the foundation of his success. Then came a moment that defined him. During a training exercise in the Arctic, a tank broke through the ice. Steve didn't hesitate. He saved 5 Marines from drowning. That act earned him respect and a spot guarding President Harry S. Truman's yacht. It showed the world that behind the rebel was a man you could count on. When Steve left the Marines, it was with an honorable discharge. He often said the Marines made a man out of him. The discipline and purpose he gained stayed with him forever. Shaped not only the man but the hero he played on screen. In the early 1950s, Steve McQueen was just another hungry dreamer trying to survive in New York City. After serving in the Marines, he used the GI Bill to study acting at the neighborhood playhouse under the tough guidance of Sanford Messner. But acting school didn't pay rent or put food on the table. To scrape by, McQueen threw himself into motorcycle racing on weekends at Long Island City Raceway. He risked his neck for $100 a race, a big prize when rent in Manhattan could be as low as $30 a week. His life became a wild mix of daytime discipline and acting, class and nighttime danger on the track. This double life shaped him. The grit of the streets and the precision of the stage turned him into something different from the other actors clawing for a break. McQueen's first steps into Hollywood were small.